Hi, Timothy Carlson here, and my coverage of 4K movies continues. Paramount Pictures just gave us a 4K release of one of my favorite movies from their back catalog, celebrating its 30th anniversary this year, Wayne's World. Wayne's World, of course, based on the Saturday Night Live sketch of the same name. It's the second movie based on an SNL sketch after The Blues Brothers back in 1980. And it's the highest grossing film based on an SNL sketch. It also spawned one theatrical sequel as well. I'm going to unbox the Steelbook, talk about the movie, and let you know what I think. Nice close-up of the characters. I love how they covered this Steelbook in quotes from the movie, because it's just such a quotable movie. Here's our spine. Here's the backing card. Back of the backing card. Under the backing card, you have another shot of Wayne and Garth. More quotes from the movie. Inside the package, we have our 4K disc. Disappointingly, this does not also include a Blu-ray disc. I kind of like to have that option for if I go somewhere that doesn't have a 4K player. It does come with a digital code as well. Nothing on the back of that. And then I pull off the 4K disc, and in the Steelbook underneath, we have the Laverne and Shirley homage. Absolutely hilarious. Wayne's World revolves around two friends, Wayne Campbell and Garth Algar, both of whom host a public access show called Wayne's World from Wayne's parents' basement. Of course, he still lives with his parents. And he's always hoping to be able to do the show for a living, and when he's approached by a wealthy producer, it seems like he's going to get that opportunity, but things might not be all that they seem. Meanwhile, he falls for a gorgeous female bass player from one of the locally based bands in the area. But is everything going to work out in the long run, or will everything come crashing down? Wayne's World is certainly a classic in its own way. While some of the slang, looks, and technology in the movie are dated, I think it's as funny as ever. There's a lot of ad-libs in this movie, which are about as hilarious as you'd expect, given that Michael Myers, of course, portrays Wayne. Myers, of course, would go on to portray the title character in the Austin Powers films as well. And Garth, played by comedian Dana Carvey, who's the perfect foil to Wayne. And these two guys just, you can tell they're having the time of their lives making this movie, even if I have heard some horror stories about what happened behind the scenes. The movie is directed by Penelope Spheris, who'd done a lot of independent films back in the 80s, as well as the Decline of Western Civilization music documentaries. Supporting roles in the movie include Tia Carrere as the bass player, who's Wayne's love interest, Rob Lowe as the producer interested in getting and exploiting their show, Brian Doyle Murray as an interested sponsor who could be part of the deal, and even Ed O'Neill, Al Bundy himself, as a psychotic donut shop manager of all things. It's a perfectly cast film, and there's also a handful of cameos here. Of course, if you've seen this movie, you know Alice Cooper's in it in one of the most hilarious scenes you could possibly imagine. I don't know if there's anything I can say about Wayne's World that hasn't already been said, but it's as funny as ever, and getting to revisit it on this 4K disc was certainly a lot of fun. One thing I am happy to announce, there's a scene in the movie where Wayne plays a guitar riff, which is from the Led Zeppelin song Stairway to Heaven. That was edited out of all of the prior home video releases for legal reasons. This 4K disc actually restores the Stairway to Heaven riff for the first time since the theatrical release, so that's a huge plus right there for all of us fans of the film. Paramount's been releasing a lot of their back catalog titles on 4K lately, often with mixed results. But I'm happy to say that Wayne's World actually looks pretty solid in its 4K debut. This has never been the most visually interesting movie. It's always been a little drab and flat looking, but this is a faithful transfer, and the touch of Dolby Vision that's applied here really makes a difference in some of the darker and more colorful scenes. And I am happy to say this, even if it's not an earth-shattering upgrade from the previous Blu-ray, it's at least a pretty good-looking one. And I think it's safe to say this will be the definitive version of the film for years to come. No new bonus features, sadly, and like I said also, there's no Blu-ray copy of the film included. We just get the extreme close-up EPK piece and just a handful of other little things. including a commentary with director Penelope Spheris. There are a few other things I would like to have seen here, including some of the original SNL sketches. And it would have been nice if they thrown in the sequel, Wayne's World 2, as a bonus feature, even if they just slapped it on the Blu-ray that already exists. But maybe its exclusion here implies that Paramount might be planning a 4K release for that one eventually on its own. Fans of Wayne's World, I don't think are going to be disappointed in this release. It's the best the movie's ever looked. They actually restored the Stairway to Heaven riff at long last. Picture quality does get a slight upgrade. And of course, Wayne and Garth are as funny as ever, even 30 years after this movie made its debut. Are you a fan of Wayne's World? And have you had a chance to pick it up on 4K yet? Comment down below and let me know what you think. Also, remember to subscribe to this channel for more content. I'm always posting new videos. And make sure you give this one a like if you found it helpful. I'm Taylor T. Carlson. I'll see you next time.